Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here once more, and the subject this time is an underpass. Now, you normally would associate an underpass with the model railroad going underneath the underneath the railway line in a station. So I thought it might be an idea to incorporate it into a 1/35 scale diorama. It could be an underpass or leading down to a bomb shelter of some kind. So this is just an idea that you may want to incorporate into a diorama that you're making. Looks quite effective. It's sort of going down into nothingness down there. So I've made a bit of a diorama of it. And I've made these sandbags as an excuse as to why there is an underpass. And I will show you how I made the steps and the leading down into the underpass, and also the sandbags, which is a new idea that I've thought of. Okay, so let's get on with the video and I'll show you exactly how I went about making it. So the first thing I shall do is make the stairs. I've made the height of two pieces of polystyrene that I want the stairs to sit into. So that's going to be my height. In this case, 2 inches, 50 millimeters. Just a fraction under, actually. They're not quite 1 inch thick. So just under 50 millimeters for the height. And then the length needs to be just a little bit longer. So rather than it be just a 45-degree angle, it's a shallower angle than that. In my case, I've made it 2.5 inches or 64 millimeters that way. And then for a 35 scale, 1 in 35 scale steps, I've made them 1/2 inch by 3/16, so 12 millimeters by 8 millimeters, something like that. Okay, so I've cut that out of 2mm cardboard. 2 of those, well, 4 of them altogether, but 2 to make a set of steps. Then this will go on the bottom like that, and that there. So you'll have that. Then I've cut the steps themselves, these at 3/16, these at 1/2 inch. And when this is all glued together, then I can put my steps in that way, and then the other steps in that way. Okay, so you'll end up with something like that. Very simple really to do. Once you've got this shape, the sides, then it's a case of just sticking the steps. The steps and the risers, I believe they're called. So this will then sit into, well, in this case, it's only just a very small diorama. It will fit into a hole the same size as the length of the steps, but then the other step will go further. So as you look down the steps, it will look as though it goes into a corridor to go underneath whatever we're making. Get in, you silly sod. It won't go in. Oh, there we are. So that will sit, yeah, there we are. So it will sit in like that, and as you look down the steps, it will sort of look into infinity. Okay, so I need to do the other one. Oh. I think I may have done the wrong side. It may have been this side. Will that be easier? Oh, goodness sake. There. It's in the wrong side. That will go like that. and that will that will sit in like so. So I need to put this together and put in this side, and then a reason for there to be an underpass. Obviously, if you're making a train layout, then the reason would be that the train line goes there, but I'm not doing that. So I'm putting a series of sandbags here and sandbags around the opening to the stairs, and make it like a military no-go zone, if you like. Okay, so I'll do the other steps, finish off my sandbags, which I will show you how I'd make. It's a unique way of making sandbags. You'll when I tell you how I do them, you'll say, no way. Well, okay, I'll show you a bit later. So I'll carry on with that, do a bit more, come back and go to the next stage. So I finished off my other flight of stairs and set them into the polystyrene holes that I'd made already, and just put sandbags all around and made a bit of a diorama of it. These I stole from other dioramas that I've made previously. The street lamp, if you're interested, I've made a separate video on how to make those. But the sandbags, I looked on YouTube at various people's videos on how to make sandbags, and they're all generally using clay of some kind, modelling clay, but I hadn't got any, and I couldn't get any, so I had to think of a different idea. So please don't laugh. I had to come up with a different idea. So polystyrene, why not polystyrene? So I've got some 1/2 inch polystyrene, and if I cut a strip 5/16 wide, which is 8 millimeters. Now let me put this down. If I can see over the camera, there, with a very sharp knife. So you've got that. And I've already marked it out at 7/8. My length needs to be 7/8, which is where 22 millimeters. So cut them off at 22 millimeters, like so. You get a lot of static electricity with this stuff. It sticks to everything. Okay, so that's basically the shape or the size of a sandbag, 1/32 scale, 35 scale rather. So to shape it, all I did was cut a chamfer on both sides, like that. Really should be to a point on the end there, but it doesn't matter. So it's like that, and then with a piece of sandpaper, this is a bit too rough really. It needs to be a fairly smooth sandpaper. Then just fold the sandpaper into a shape like that. Just fold it over and just, where are we? Cut that kind of shape and turn it over and do the same the other side, and then just chamfer the sides as well. Only needs to be a little bit. So you've got that. Then all you need to do is just take off the sharp edge, well, not sharp edges, but the just round everything off very, very lightly, like that. and that is pretty much the shape of a sandbag. Now, of course, it being polystyrene, it's very porous to paint, and I'm sure, well, I believe a lot of sandbags were made of a Hessian sand in a Hessian type bag, so not absolutely smooth, but not quite as rough as this. So when you've got a few of them made, then put them in situ where you want them to be, something like that. Can you see? Stick hot melt glue gun will stick those in position. Once you've got your block of sandbags that you want, then you can paint over with watered down wall filler, and that will smooth over any porosity, porousness. It'll make them smooth, give them a smoother finish. You could do them individually, I suppose, but that would take too long. But you only need to paint on the wall filler that you can actually see. There's no need to do them individually. So paint over with the wall filler, and then paint them to whatever colour you want them to be, like that. I can't paint for the life of me. Colour, and I don't know if I'm colour blind or what, but I'm not that good at getting the right colour of things. So I've painted them the best I can, but it's the principle of the matter. It's the shape and the fact that they look reasonably like a pile of sandbags, and it's just polystyrene. So you can't get cheaper, I am sure, and fast, very, very quickly. Once you've got these pieces cut, it's a matter of seconds with a piece of sandpaper to get the right shape. So because I only just thought of it while making this diorama, I may well make a separate video on how to make cheap and easy sandbags in my next video. So even though I've shown you already, that will be the subject of the next video. But for the time being, this is the subject, an underpass. It could be incorporated in a bigger diorama if you wanted, obviously, but it's just the principle of the matter. 2 holes in polystyrene, and then how I made the steps leading down. I suppose could be a bomb shelter, really. So again, just an idea, that's all. And there we are. So there we are. I'm making a mess here. So again, thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe, and apparently you have to click the bell. Is that right? There's a bell there or something. I don't know. I've never seen one. But you click a bell, and then you'll be informed when new videos come along, like how to make sandbags. So please subscribe, and please click the like button and the bell. And I will be back shortly with another new video. I normally post 2 or 3 a week. Like I said before, the ideas, they're not necessarily the greatest finished product, but ideas that you might want to incorporate in your diorama. Okay, again, thank you very much. Have a go yourself. Let me know how you get on. And in the meantime, I wish you, as always, the very best of modelling.